Jared Cooper, active world team member. Been in the business almost in a month, and so basically 40 days. It'll be 6 years signed up, which is amazing. 6 years has been a hell of a ride. Doing a business about 4.5. Learned a lot, been through a lot, grew a lot, made a lot of money, helped a lot of people, traveled to a lot of places I've never been before, done a lot of things I never did before because of the opportunity, and that was great. But it's not about me. It's about everybody else and them having that experience. And I remember me last year at this time getting ready for my it definitely wasn't my first extravaganza, but I would say it was my first like extravaganza coming as somebody different than before. You know what I mean? Just due to the fact of I had to become more because it was more people that needed different things from me. And it's super funny because I remember last year I would be doing personally I would be doing a lot more higher volume personally because my time wasn't necessarily divided between people who need me for certain different things, right? It was just basically me and a few other people. And I was just really focusing on turning my volume up and not trying to, but sponsoring people. But in the act of not having people on the team, more personal volume, getting results, helping clients out, right? And so what I'm saying is that when you start to build your team and when you start to become more of a leader and you start to build your organization, you're going to have to become more because you're going to be stretched in different ways. You're going to have to be able to be a mentor. You're going to have to be able to be a leader. You're going to have to be somebody that somebody could turn to, whether it be about business. Sometimes, you know what, a lot of the times with a lot of people on the team, we be talking about other stuff than business, you know what I'm saying? Or, advice or anything like that. Like whether they need some advice in life rather than only just about Herbalife or how to get a client or what program they should follow and things like that. So what I'm basically saying is, and I only noticed this too, and the reason I noticed this is because me and Bridget had a competition about, who would do more volume last month, and whoever lost the bet would pay for the other person's extravaganza ticket. So whatever, you know what I'm saying? I lost, and I'm not saying that I lost just due to the fact of that, but what I'm saying is that I'm also doing a lot of other things than I was just last year. Because I remember I would be doing like 3,500, 4K last year around this time. And now it's just like I'm doing my 2,500 just barely over. You know what I'm saying? But because of not having enough time, but just because my time is being used in other ways. So what I'm saying is, as you grow your team, you have to grow better as a leader because you're going to be doing other things. But going back to extravaganza, do we all have our tickets for everybody that's going? You need to ask yourself that. You need to ask your downline that. Traveling, right? Or do you have enough money saved up? If you don't earn enough through Herbalife currently, are you saving some of your money, right? Because it seems like, I don't know why, it seems like when you travel, you just be spending way more money. Like, do it ever seem like that? Like, especially on food. It seemed like you be spending look, I was just in LA this last weekend. It seemed like I just spent way more money on food than I normally would, right? And yeah, I be eating at the house sometimes, but it's like, nah, $500 on food. I didn't literally spend $500, but it seemed like that's how it be when you travel. So the thing is, though, if you haven't been saving, it's very important to save now. If you haven't been earning, it's very important to earn now. So it's time to run it up, right? So put a dedication on doing more retail so you can have that extracurricular activity money when you're in New Orleans. Because at the end of the day, it's mandatory if you're serious about Herbalife to be at extravaganza. It's mandatory. It's not like one of those things that's kind of like if you're going or whatever the case may be, but it's just like, yeah, I'm going no matter what. If you're serious about doing Herbalife. But I understand that life happens and, you may not necessarily have the funds to go. And I'm definitely not telling you to be in a bad position to go to extravaganza. Be uncomfortable a little bit. Like, if you have to get a little uncomfortable, get a little uncomfortable. But you don't want to break yourself to go to extravaganza. I promise it's not that serious. So for you to go to extravaganza and then when you come home, like, yeah, you're fired up, but it's like your situation is not as good as it was. You know what I'm saying? Just because you took the trip. So some things to prevent that is we have a whole month and a half. We have all of June and 3 weeks in July. right? For you to be able to create some form of lump sum for yourself to say, hey, I'm taking this to extravaganza. So your retail should be in your focus, right? If you have a team right now and you can earn retail or wholesale and you can earn royalties, doing something for that so that your wholesale check on the 15th of next month can suffice for you the week after when you go to extravaganza. Being able to save the money that you're earning from your job, being able to just cut out certain things, whether it be like eating out, getting your hair cut or done, nails, whatever the case it may be. If you're serious about going, it might have to take some sacrifice for you to make sure you're right. Because if you get in there on Tuesday, like myself, I'm getting there Tuesday. I'm getting there Tuesday, not leaving until Monday. So it's like I'm going to need a little bit more extra income or a little bit extra more money rather than somebody that's getting there Friday and leaving Sunday or leaving Monday. You see what I'm saying? So you just want to set yourself up correctly, right? And if you don't have the money currently, for everybody that's going to watch this call in the future, tonight, later, tomorrow, whatever the case may be, that's why you're doing Herbalife. Like if you're telling yourself that you can't go because you don't have the money, realize that's why you're doing Herbalife, to have the extra income. Like, don't say like, we signed up to make money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, use the opportunity to create the income for the trip, for the business trip, so that you can earn even more income, because everybody's story, the flip switches every time somebody says, I went to my first extravaganza and boom. Like, yeah, it could be your first event like it was for me. Yeah, it was LDW. Like, I understood what was going on, but I didn't realize how much bigger the company was until I went to extravaganza, right? So when you go to extravaganza, that's what that's going to be like. So everybody's first story starts with, I went to extravaganza, and this, the backstory behind that, like for me, my first one, I had to go and room with 6 other girls because we didn't have enough money to get our own room, or whatever the case is. I had to drive down with like 5 people. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't make my own plans because I wasn't set up correctly. And that goes into my story. So your story can either start off good or you can struggle like mine, but the point was I was there. You know what I'm saying? And get there by any means. If you got to, you know, we already rooming. If you got to do more, if you got to talk to more people, if you have to do more shake parties, whatever the case may be, go ahead and do as such. You know what I'm saying? Build that muscle, build that retail muscle, build that social event muscle and everything like that. And with that, getting the retail, right? Also the recruiting part. And this is the thing I was talking about somebody earlier today. That was crazy. It was like, they asked me how do you get more people? How do you show people the business side? And for me, I was talking about, I just show the lifestyle and things like that. And it's not necessarily only important to show people about the hard work, like getting the 10 people, signing people up in a challenge, things like that. But it's like, what are you doing as the byproduct of the hard work? Are you showing that part? Are you showing the lifestyle? Are you showing you being able to go to the clothing store and buy some things that you don't usually buy? Are you showing that you're going on a trip and having fun? Are you showing that you're able to purchase a car or do the payment on your house or whatever the case may be? Whatever you got to do in your life that's extra that you're doing from the business that you wasn't doing before, are you showing that possibility to everybody? Are you showing that, or is it just becoming a habit to you? Like, I know for me, once I started getting direct deposit, I kind of stopped showing the monthly ink or the wholesale check, just because it was direct deposit, not necessarily a check in my hand. I need to be showing people a direct deposit. I need to be screenshotting just the direct deposit, though. They don't need to see my transactions or everything else is going on in there. But when that Herbalife check drop on the 13th, if you got direct deposit, it's supposed to get cut on the 15th, but it comes on the 13th. Show that. And don't discredit how much it was. Like I always say, 300, 500, 700, 1,200, whatever the case may be, right? Do that. And show people what's capable of doing that, because a lot of people, like I'm saying, are looking for an extra 200, looking for an extra 300, looking for an extra band monthly. And if you can just show people like, yo, I'm getting this on a check, giving advice, helping people out, being the example, drinking these shakes, having fun, going to these events, dressing up, looking the part, you can do it too. You already be at home playing the game. You already be on online just talking shit, gossiping. Do something positive. You know what I'm saying? I actually just told that to one of my homies the other day. I'm like, bro, all you do is go to work, get high, and don't do nothing. Won't you come do this and come make some money and be around some people? He's lightweight. I'm like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Not trying to talk about him, but it's just like, yo, you have the opportunity to be around something positive. You have the opportunity to make a little money. You have the opportunity to change your life in some form. I ain't saying you got to go full-blown Herbalife. I'm not saying you have to be herbalized. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you have to want to go to president's team, but you do have the ability to say, hey, you know what? I want to do something a little bit different with my life. I want to get surrounded by somebody a little bit better. I want to do certain things. I was just talking about this on my Instagram earlier today, that yes, it's almost the middle of the month or the middle of the year. Technically, it's not the middle until July, right? Or the middle of June, whatever the case is. 5 months have gone by. If your 5 months previously haven't gone the way you thought it was going to go, you should maybe change up your habits. You should maybe change the people that you're hanging out with. You should maybe change the route that you're going on a little bit, right? I'm not saying give it up, but change it, right? Because small changes lead to big wins. It takes you to do different if you want different. So it's like, yo, analyze what you've been doing. See what's been working, what hasn't been working in your business, in your life, in your relationships, whatever the case may be, at home, whatever, right? Analyze, take notes, and see what you can do different so you can have a better outcome in another better 6 months to kick off 2020. Because it's 6 months that went by. 5 months that went by. It's the middle of the year. Dude, I just feel like it was January. It was just my birthday yesterday. Yesterday, it was my birthday, which is in February. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, the time is going to go by. The time don't stop for nobody. So what are you going to do in between the time? Are you going to show up? Are you going to do what's necessary? Are you going to go to these events, right? Because a lot of that stems earlier what I was talking about of you not having the money in the business, you not being as successful, you not being on the right path. Strictly for Herbalife, it's probably directly linked to you not going to events. So you got to say, hey, check it out. I know if I can't get to extravaganza, if my business is not going as I need it to go, if I need some direction, right? If I need to be inspired, then you should say, hey, you know what? I know I haven't been going to events because this is the honest truth. I know because I know this is how. Everybody's not going to events. Like everybody on the team is not going to events, and that's fine. I'm not holding it against anybody. But what I'm saying is that if you want to do something great, if you want to achieve these things that you say you want to achieve, which a lot of us say is press team, then it's going to require you to say, hey, you know what? I have to commit to these events. And when you go to the event, being able to absorb everything, keep the integrity, and to say, hey, you know what? My business isn't going exactly how I want it to go. So you know what? There's two sides to it that I have to work on. I have to work on the actually, like you could say, for example, the structure. I need to work on exactly what I'm doing. Like, am I doing follow-ups? Am I posting on social media? Am I actually talking to people? Am I going to events? Am I bringing people to events? Am I talking about the opportunity, right? The business stuff, the structure about it. What days do I do this? Do I follow up on these days? Do I plan for events, weeks ahead? Am I planning for these calls? Am I bringing people on the calls? Am I sponsoring people, right? That side, the actual business side, the works, the wheels turning. And then there's the mental side to it where it's saying like, hey, I have to do this with a no days off mentality. I have to say, hey, no matter how I'm feeling, my goals are important to me because how I'm feeling now will pass and my future will always be there. And it's coming at me. The future's coming at you. So are you working on this side as well? The mentality, the mindset, the personal development to say, hey, you know what? No matter what, I don't necessarily feel like it today, but I'm going to go. I just told Amanda that the other day. I don't feel like going to the gym right now, but it's necessary to go because I have goals and we're going to extravaganza and we got this challenge and I will not be the person that didn't show up. I will not be the person that didn't do what they were supposed to do. Because you know what I'm saying? People know in business and in fitness, right? And how your body looks. If you was doing what you're supposed to do, you're going to look like it. Your royalties will reflect it. Your business will reflect it. If not, it will also reflect it. You know what I'm saying? So you have to work on both sides and being able to say, hey, you know what? I understand this side and this side. Now I'm going to combine it as one and apply it, right? Like, how many of us have a no days off when it comes to the gym? Like, I know it's very difficult for me to have no days off when it comes to the gym. Very difficult. How can we? How committed is everybody to saying, hey, you know what, 2 shakes a day, no matter what? Very difficult. I'm not gonna lie. It's very difficult to say, hey, you know what? Right, I've been in 5 years. It's okay. It's okay. I understand. Yes, you do have those days where it's 2 shakes a day, but sometimes it's like, you know what I'm saying? You might get the one in. You know what I mean? But if it's within a plan, a 90-day plan, a structure, right? The off day will be submerged within all the consistent days. You see what I'm saying? Do you think that you can't get rich doing Herbalife 6 days a week? To say, hey, you know what? No matter 5 days a week, I'm gonna take an off day. I'm gonna have an off day. Like, this is my day. I don't do stuff Sundays, and you know what? And then I'm gonna have a day where I might not necessarily feel like it, and I'm not as consistent as that shit. You can have 2 of them days, and you don't think you can get rich in 5 years with Herbalife, with everything that's set up for you, calls, events, different trainings. You personally, you can do Herbalife everywhere you go. So how can you not get necessarily rich doing it 5 days a week for as long as you want to? You know what I'm saying? Like, that concept is very important for you to understand, is that it's always available to you. The opportunity is available at all times, is whether you're actually utilizing it. Are you wearing that button all the time, or are you wearing it sometimes? The business will reflect it. You know what I'm saying? We got STS this weekend for NorCal. KO will be there. Champion 1000, if you don't know who that is. He's going to be there. He just hit 20K last month. So he's a brand new 20K President's team member. Coming to NorCal, I believe it's his first time. One of the homies, he actually spoke on our call in August, I want to say. Whenever, it's not important when. He spoke on the call. He came with heat. He's definitely coming to NorCal, and he's coming with some more heat. So I definitely suggest that you get there. If you don't have your ticket, get your ticket. That's going to be very important. Does anybody have any – oh, and this is also what I wanted to say. For anybody that's watching this call now and in the future, if your last month didn't go necessarily how you wanted it to go, I personally will take, like, yes, I'm mentoring everybody, but – or if, like, yes, I talk to more people a little bit more often than others, just based upon where you're at in the business and whatever the case may be. But if you're saying, hey, I need help, I need accountability, I need someone to push me daily, I'm willing to commit myself this month. Well, I mean, all the time, but I'm just saying it right now. This month to help anybody that's saying, like, hey, I want help, that we can be in an accountability daily, like me and whoever says that they want to do it. You could type, you don't have to type it now. You can text me after the call, whatever the case may be, and we can get it cracking. I just want to say that. And just saying that you know, it's going to take more than just you in getting these people, right? Or building this organization, right? Like, you can only do so much. But like I'm saying is, like Mark Hughes said, or like Mark Hughes did, if you play the game and I'm going to get 180 people in 5 years, how did the quote go? Does anybody know the quote, how it goes exactly? Or not the quote, but like how the storyline went. If you bring me 180 people in 5 years, I will cut you a check for $4 million. That's what is that? 36 people a year. Not people, supervisors, not necessarily frontline either. If you get, just imagine if you do this in your business, 36 supervisors in 1 year, right? You have a huge team. Let's just say the average, well, actually the average is for every supervisor worldwide or in the U.S., the average supervisor volume is 1,200 volume points. 36 in your first 3 levels. 36 supervisors in your first 3 levels doing 1,200 volume points. What does that math equal out to? Let me see. 43,200. With the uplift factor, that's qualifying you as a global expansion, a 2.5 global expansion team member, right? Just with 36 people doing 1,200 volume points. That's not including people that's going to do 2,500. That's not including people that's going to do 5K. That's not including people that's going to do 500. It's just the average is 12. It might be a little bit higher than that. Probably wouldn't be too much lower, but it could be a lot higher than this average right here, right? So if that's the case, right, if you just double that in 2 years, 36, what is this? 40 or 86,000, 87,000, something like that. Yeah. Past millionaire team, fully qualified, probably making about $14,000 a month in 2 years. $14,000 a month in 2 years. A lot of people can quit their job on $14,000. I probably would have quit my job 6 bands ago. Personally, me, I probably would have quit my job 6 bands ago before that 14,000. So at 8 bands, you know what I'm saying? Definitely would have, without a doubt, for sure. But my point in saying that is, it just break down the average. What's 30? What is that? 36 times 12, or divided by 12? What is that? 4? Yeah, 4. Yeah, exactly. 3. That's why you don't need to do math to do Herbalife, right? 3, right? So if you just getting 3 supervisors a month, just in your first 3 levels, for a year, you'll have to 36. If you just do that for 2 years, if you just get a supervisor, you tell that person to get a supervisor, and you tell that person to get a supervisor, 3. You know what I'm saying? 3 levels deep. If you could just do that, right? If you were just working on that, 36 supervisors, global expansion team, next year, meal team, what? In like 3.5 years, depending on, averages or whatever, right? 3 years, 3.5 years, president's team. If you worked on that, if that was your goal, right? Just imagine making what? Let's just say 15,000 a month. How long have I been around? 40 years? Almost 40 years? 40 years this year, I believe, or next year, whatever the case is. Let's just say 40, right? Just imagine for the next 20. How much money could you make in Herbalife in the next 20 years? Just imagine what that would be like. In 20 years, what? Most of us will be in our 40s still. Yeah. Most of us still be in our 40s, right? Would you be able to retire doing that yearly though? With all the little stuff that comes with that, bonuses, royalties, wholesale, Mark Hughes bonus awards, the money Herbalife just be giving out, nutrition clubs if you're going to own one, whatever the case may be, right? Just imagine all of that, not including that 15,000, but just the royalties of the 15,000 over the next 20 years. Monthly though, 15,000 monthly, not yearly. This ain't no part-time job. This is we making that monthly. You know what I'm saying? Would you be able to retire off that? Would you be able to say, or give it 25, give it 30 years? Would you be able to retire off that? What is that? Somebody break that down for me. 15,000 times 12. 180 bands. 180 bands a year. If you made 180 bands a year starting today, for the next 20 years, what, times 20? $3.6 million doing Herbalife, not including all the extra stuff that can come with that. That seems pretty legit. You know what I'm saying? And because you got to look at it like, at a certain point, that's going to grow without you, no matter what. Like that income, that $15K a month is going to grow without you. That just comes on the front end of the work that you did before. That just comes from you showing up to the events and setting the culture to say, no matter what, if I'm going by myself, I'm going. You know how many events I didn't went to by myself? What? I didn't went to events by myself as an active World Team member, as a World Team member. And some of y'all be mad that ain't nobody coming with you and you're not even a supervisor yet, or you barely just hit supervisor. Like, dude, it's going to take some of that you getting pounded on, some of that hardening, some of you getting chipped at. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take a little bit of that for you to know that feeling to say, hey, I'm never showing up to an event by myself again. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take you saying, hey, I'm hosting a fit club. It's going to take you saying, hey, I'm hosting a shake party, and don't nobody show up sometimes. It might take that. Right? Sometimes it's going to take for people to say, hey, I'm going to sign up with you on this day. I'm going to order on this day. And then on the day they're supposed to order, they know where to be found. They don't ever talk to you again. They probably block you on the gram. It'd be like that sometimes. Sometimes you're going to have to take that. And that's okay. But the thing is, though, you have to just be getting better from that, one, and being able to learn the lessons on what led up to that, too. and getting and applying that 3. Because yeah, you can know all that, but if you're not applying it and getting better, then it don't even matter. Sometimes it's gonna take that, and sometimes it's. Oh, okay, awesome. Share that screen, girl. Okay. Yep. It's lit. Anyway, yeah. So I'm seeing if our guest speaker is going to be able to speak next week. I'm not sure. That whatever. I'm probably just not going to talk. Not necessarily ask this person no more. Other than that, though, everybody's goals, post them in the chat after this call, and we can talk about it. And I can personally help whoever wants to get on the call or get on the accountability with me, anything like that. I will reach out to the 10 people. That was the first 10 that paid via text message, because that is due. When is that? Friday? I don't know when the 8th is, but it's the 8th. I'll reach out to them personally and say, hey, what's good with that, so we can get that paid. You can send that to me in the same way you sent it to me in the beginning, whatever that is. And, I'll go ahead and pay for it. So I'll go over this information again, but the Airbnb's dates is July 24th, 3 p.m. is check-in. So, but I'll already be there. So whatever, I'll already be there before that. And check out is July 29th at 11 a.m. So Wednesday to Monday. The party Sunday night after the event is going to be fun. Make sure you get there, invite people from the area if you know anybody. And there's also time for you to still get more team members to come. It's a month and a half away. It's enough time for you to still get people committed. I remember last year there were still people committed. I think people committed probably up to like a week, like up to almost a week. Like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna make it. I think Raina was one of those people. She actually was like, okay, a week out, she's like, yeah, I'm gonna be able to go. So don't give up on talking to people. Don't give up on getting your team there, because it's not only for your experience, it's for you and your team's experience. Because at this point, I've already been there a few times. I know what to expect. It's not necessarily about me enjoying it, even though I will do that. It's about everybody's first time enjoying it. Like Jorge, like Tango, like Angelica, like Andrew, right? Like, I can't think about anybody else right now at this point. But yeah, so it's people like that. And for you seasoned people, Amanda, I ain't going to necessarily say Bridget because it's your second time. I'm not going to necessarily say Takesha. It's your second time. It's a little different. You know what I'm saying? You still got to get your bearings going a little bit. But for the seasoned people, it's just about making sure that your team is necessarily having a great time and them taking it all in. And by them taking it in, you take it in. Because, you know what I'm saying? When I see the people having fun, that makes me have fun. Because I'm like, yes, job is done. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, though, all questions are good questions. It's a short call today because I know it's Monday. People got stuff to do. I got stuff to do. Any questions? Shoot them. No shooting questions. It's all good. Reach out to me if you want that accountability for this month of June. If not, it's okay. 4K away from our first cut global expansion team last month. Let's go ahead and get that cut going this month. It's going to be dope. And we're going to get recognized as a group. It's going to be awesome, right? So hit me up. Great seeing y'all. Let's get to it.